Hello, everybody. This is Stephen Whitfield of Drilling Contractor here at the 2024 IADC SPE International Drilling Conference and Exhibition in Galveston, Texas. We're here at the Diversity and Inclusion session, and I'm with a man who spoke at this session, Caleb Jackson of H&P. He gave an interesting talk on perspectives and how they shape our biases, and a whole lot of other fun stuff. So we're going to listen to him talk a little bit about that here today. Fascinating perspective. So, Caleb, thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me, Stephen.
So, I kind of just set you up there on that first question. So let's start with that first question. How do our perspectives shape our biases?
Yeah, it's a really great question. And one of the things that I think is extremely important to identify is that every individual's perspective is different, and that's based on our upbringing, our culture, our access to information, and just how we navigate our day-to-day, right? So from the very beginning of our life, we start gathering data and information that helps drive our ideologies and our perspectives into our identities. And so over time, these things become more concrete, which ultimately become biases. And it's how we view the world. It's our lens. So it's important that we learn to navigate our own perspective in reframing our lens and how we view things.
So that's fascinating. We have a lot of people out here probably wondering, why is it important for us to know this? So I'll ask that on their behalf. Why is it important for us to sort of know how and understand how our perspectives shape our biases?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So specifically to work, I mean, we can expound this into so many different ways, right? But like whenever we identify how we're able to view a problem, it's important to understand that that problem may look different to other people based on their perspectives or their experiences. So one of the crucial parts of identifying our own perspectives is being able to recognize the gaps that we have within those and how we leverage other people's perspectives to fill those gaps in. And doing this, we're able to become much more innovative in how we manage problems and solutions to problems.
And now the million-dollar question here. So we've understood now how our perspectives shape our biases and why it's important. So how do we capitalize on that in our jobs? How do we take this out to what we do?
Yeah, that's a great question. And what I pose is that we practice this concept of thinking beyond our brain. And we do this through cultivating an environment of teamwork, questioning our assumptions, identifying these areas where we can have a growth mindset, and then acknowledging our gaps. Because when we cultivate teamwork, we really capitalize on the collective knowledge of our peers that allow us to see multiple perspectives and come to different solutions. And through acknowledging our gaps, we're able to self-reflect, identify how our experiences have built our strengths, but also show us the opportunities where we can still grow. And through this, we can utilize the people who surround us, who share different perspectives than us, to come to more well-rounded solution, not only as individuals, but also as leaders in the energy industry.
Well, Caleb, that was fascinating to hear. Thank you so much for letting us in on this. It's not something that we hear every day about sort of how our brains work, really. So that's really fascinating. So thank you again for sharing that perspective. No pun intended. And we appreciate it. Thank you again.
Thanks a lot, Stephen.
And thank you for visiting Drilling Contractor.